Hi.
All right. We can get started since it's the top of the hour here. We'll give Raj a minute to join, but I can start with mine. Just a reminder that next week, or not next week, tomorrow is the iteration retrospective. So all of the managers have been doing this iteration training. And so this is part of that process. So we would just kind of want to walk through some ideas and walk through with the team of go through some examples that we've done with either good iteration or successful or ways we could have improved, and then see if we can kind of pull out some learnings from that and roll them up. So there's 2 meetings scheduled for tomorrow, and that's just to accommodate different time zones. So don't need to attend both or anything. But if you can plan, or if you can kind of look through some of the work you've done and see if you can find any examples that you can bring along with to the meeting, that would be very helpful. Okay, Raj, on to you.
Hello, everybody. I'm sorry you got a bit delayed. All right. Oh, yeah. So the first issue is about we have this issue to add OAuth authentication to the manual Prometheus configuration. A little bit of background about this. Currently, the way we have the manual Prometheus configuration set up is a project can just connect to Prometheus or Thanos instance using the API URL. And the assumption there is that these APIs are publicly accessible, but that's not always the case. They could be behind some kind of an authentication. So this issue is about letting the user add more than just the API URL, specifically OAuth credentials. And this issue also is particularly about just Google's OAuth workflow, because this will help with our dogfooding efforts, as most of our Prometheus or Thanos instances are behind Google's IAP, which is their authentication system. So the UX for this is mostly ready. It is just about adding a couple of input fields on the UI. It's mostly a backend fix, obviously, because there's a lot of OAuth handshake that needs to happen. And so if somebody has bandwidth, please take a look at it. This was originally meant to be done in 13.0, but there's a lot of back and forth with UX, and now the designs are ready. And hopefully we can get this done by at least 13.1. And the second topic is also mine. So this is about editing custom metrics through the chart. So for the chart options, there's an option to edit a custom metric. Right now, the way it works is we redirect the user to the page where they can edit the custom metrics, but the ideal workflow is that the custom metrics form should open as a modal. And so this issue is about that. There's the final iteration, and there are some backend changes that need to be done, because if we have the custom metrics form as a model, we're no longer doing a page reload or form submit through a page reload. So I think there's some amounts of backend things that need to be done there. So if somebody has bandwidth, please take a look at it. Again, that's not higher priority. There's scheduled for 13.1. I broke down the front-end related tasks. A little bit of help on the back end would be great. And that's all.
Just one question. Last time I tried adding custom metrics from the dashboard page, it opened a modal for me. Unless it's already merged recently or something.
Interesting. So okay, I'm not entirely sure what exactly that is. So this issue is about editing the metrics through the chart options.
Okay.
Ooh,
Okay.
I think you're referring to adding new metrics through the model using the button on the top, right? Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you're able to do that, I wonder if the backend is already ready for us to be able to edit a metric as well. I'm not sure. I have to take a look at it, but that's a good point. I'll take a look at it and update on the issue if we still need backend support for that.
Cool. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
One more thing I can throw in here too. And then if anyone else has topics, they can feel free to jump in. We had our company-wide retrospective hour and a half ago. One of the things that Christopher wanted to call out was the work, and one of the things that was in our retrospective that I pulled over into that company-wide one, and then Christopher wanted to highlight was some of the work we did on breaking down the issue around annotations. And I thought that we did a great job on that. So called that out. I also added it to the agenda for the next iteration office hours, so we can get some more feedback to see if there's ways we can improve even further. So I just wanted to call out that was a good win for our team, and something that, you know, Christopher wanted to highlight for the company-wide retro as well. Good. Okay.
Could you share when the next meeting for that is? Because I'm not seeing it.
I don't
know
see
if it's
it
'cause I-
either. The agenda for the iteration office hours it just says next. It doesn't, you know, like we do in our agendas, but it doesn't have an actual date. So I'm gonna try to figure out when that is. But whenever it happens, I'll present it there again.
Cool. I probably encourage Roger and or Mikolai to join that. I think it would be very valuable and
Yeah.
a good time to showcase the work you've done.
Yeah, and what Christopher mentioned to me too was that it's good to kind of highlight in those meetings in that iteration office hours. It's good to kind of highlight some wins, but then there's also always chances for more learning and ways for us to kind of reflect on what we've done. Even on successes, there's probably ways we can keep going and keep iterating. So that's great. Okay, are there other topics that people want to bring up? No? Okay. Well, I won't waste people's time then. So we can have a short meeting today, and yeah, take care, and we'll talk to you later. Bye, everyone.